My name is Wayne. The resurrection of Jesus Christ in the earliest apostolic documents. Mark chapter 16 verses 9 through 20 is missing from a few of the earliest manuscripts. Some have it, some don't. It was a later edition, okay? Matthew's Gospel, chapter 28. The resurrection account is one of the earliest documents and contains a full, undisputed resurrection account. Galatians and 1 Corinthians, among the earliest apostolic documents, verifies the historical resurrection of Jesus Christ. Luke and Acts of the Apostles, although a bit later historically, are compilations, are groupings of verified eyewitness reports. The resurrection of Jesus Christ is reported by numerous eyewitnesses. The resurrection of Jesus Christ is documented in various historical records. Reasons to believe the historical resurrection of Jesus Christ. Collected from numerous eyewitness accounts. Luke chapter 1 verses 1 through 4. John chapter 20 verses 30 through 31. Military protection of the permanently sealed tomb. Matthew 27 verses 62 through 66. Report of the terrified tomb guards. Matthew chapter 28 verses 4 and verse 11. Priestly bribes to lie and keep the resurrection quiet. Matthew chapter 28 verses 12 through 15. The empty tomb or grave was examined carefully. Luke chapter 24 verses 3 and 12. The apostles' serious doubts of Jesus Christ's resurrection reports. Luke 24 verses 10 through 11. John chapter 20 verses 24 through 25. Skeptical eyewitnesses were convinced. In Luke chapter 24 verses 25 through 27. Verses 37 through 43. John chapter 20 verses 24 through 29. If I could just keep my place now. The changed apostles from terrified to fearless. According to Luke chapter 22, compare it with Acts chapter 4. Jewish public debates. Public debates. Acts chapter 2 verses 13 and verses 36 through 37. Chapter 3 verses 11 through chapter 4 verse 23. Chapter 6 verses 8 through 10. Chapter 7 verse 54 and verses 57 through 58. Post-resurrection appearances of Jesus Christ. To Mary Magdalene. To the 2 disciples. To Peter. To the 11 disciples. To 500 people at once. To James, to Paul at his conversion. And all of this is clear, unmistakable, historical evidence of Jesus' resurrection from death. Turn away from your sins. Commit your life to Jesus Christ. For after all, we are cautioned by Jesus in Luke chapter 6, verses 46 through 49, the weak versus the strong foundation. Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and don't do what I tell you? Everyone who comes to me and hears my words and does them, I will tell you what he is like. He is like a man building a house who dug deep and laid a foundation on the rock. And when the flood came and the storm broke against the house, it could not shake it because it was well built on the foundation. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them. Here is what that person is like. like a man who built a house on ground without a foundation. When the storm broke out against it, immediately it fell, and the ruin of the house was great. Turn away from your sin, receive Jesus Christ into your life, commit your life to Jesus Christ. For God will judge each person's words and deeds.